Hey everyone, my name is Chloe and today I'm here to do my September wrap-up. So if you are new to the channel, I do weekly wrap-ups where every week I tell you what I read in the last week, what I thought about them, all that kind of stuff. So this video is going to be a little more overarching, my thoughts on the month in general, series September that I participated in and how well I did in that, as well as stats, my top 5 favorites, all of that kind of stuff. So let's just get into the stats. So in September, I read 34 books and DNF'd 1. That's 9,936 pages or 331 pages per day. But the average page length of my book was 292 pages. So definitely read some middle grades and some shorter things that are kind of inflating those stats. But I read about a book a day. So I read 20 novels, 6 graphic novels, 5 chapter books, 1 book in verse, 1 devotional, and 1 tome, which I am shocked that I read a tome, honestly, and it's one that I read physically, so there's that. I read 20 adult, 1 young adult, and 13 middle grade. 20 were from my shelf and 14 were from somewhere else. And my goal is always at least 50-50, so I would say I did okay with that this month. I read 16 using Libby, 8 just directly from the library, 8 directly off my shelf, 1 from my Kindle, and 1 from Spotify. So that feels pretty good. I am using my resources somewhat. Then I read 16 on audio, 15 physically, and 3 on ebook. 3 on ebook feels like a lot for me because I don't normally do ebooks. I don't love ebooks, but I'm trying. Then 2 were new release and 32 were backlist, so there's that. As far as genre goes, it was all over the place, but the front runners were 6 romance, 6 nonfiction, and 5 women's fiction. So then there's 5 contemporary, 4 women's fiction, 3 historical, and then 2 each of Christian fiction, classics retellings, sci-fi fantasy, mystery thriller, and nature, which is anything with an animal main character. So that is the hodgepodge of genres that I always read. As far as star ratings go, I had 1 DNF, 1 2-star, 8 3 stars, 14 3.5 stars, 9 4 stars, 1 4.5, and 1 5. So the average is 3.54, which is about what it always is. 3.5 for me is like, it was good. I'm glad I read it. Not the best thing ever, but if you're interested, definitely pick it up. So let's talk about Series September. So Series September is a readathon hosted by Krista from Books and Jams and Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, I believe. Every September, the goal, like they have prompts and things, but the goal is really just to read series that you're in the middle of, series that you need to finish, whatever. So I sort of kind of failed because at the beginning of the month I was like, you know what, I have so many series that I either need to start or complete or make progress, get them off my shelves. I could do just series for September. So I started doing that and then epically failed. But I did finish the Blue Ridge series by Denise Hunter. Those are romance books. They were all kind of 3.5 stars for me, but I think there's 3 of them plus a prequel. I had them all on my shelves, wanted to read them, so I did. I also read all of the Sullivan's Crossing series by Robin Carr that I have on my shelf. So I had read number 1 and I read 2 and 3, which I have on my shelves. I have not read 4 or 5, but I don't own them. I don't feel a ton of pressure. They're companion romance books. So that feels good because I got those 2 series off my shelf onto my red shelf or unhauled, whatever. I also started 4 series, which is not really the plan, but started 4 series. And then I made progress in 2 more. So it feels okay. I read through, so that's 1, 2, plus 6, so 8 different series that I dipped in and out of throughout the month. So not a huge fail, but it's just funny that I initially thought I'm going to read only series, and I did that for maybe a week and then totally fell off the rails. So now let's talk about my top 5 favorite books of the month. So we've got 3 fiction and 2 nonfiction. So we have first Girls in Trouble by Caroline Levitt. This is one I read physically. The opening chapter is a 16-year-old girl in the car with her parents in labor, about to have a baby. So she had arranged an open adoption with another couple because she is 16, got pregnant by her first love, and her first love ran, and her parents said she can't keep the baby. So she gives her baby up for adoption, and she's really, 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 really close to the couple. And in fact, she's almost like an adoptive daughter to this couple. So she's really entwined in their life. But then, of course, when the baby comes, relationship dynamics change, and what she wants from the relationship is not what they want from the relationship, etc., etc. There's some times in this book that get a little thrillery. There's times that are just really heartwarming and sweet, and overall I would say this is a really good book exploring the definition of a mother and what that means, and lots of interpersonal relationships and all of that. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I would say pick it up. Then we have The New Wife by Sue Watson. So this is a thriller about a woman it's told from a woman's perspective. Her son just married his longtime sweetheart. They've been friends, the kids have been friends since preschool. They get married, move out to somewhere kind of in the boonies, and then one day he comes home and finds his wife dead. Now, of course, he is the main suspect because it's always the husband. And so we're getting his mother's perspective. And we're not sure, can we trust the son or not? And of course, she'll do anything to protect her son. But even she's like, is he innocent or not? So we're trying to figure out what happened, who done it. It's really good, really fast paced. I would highly recommend. Then we have The Words We Lost by Nicole Deese. So this is the start of a series about two friends who they are both connected by this famous author who is now dead. And they have to come back together. They were once a couple. He's the famous author's cousin, and she was her best friend. They're coming back together to try to figure out if they can find the lost manuscript for her last book. So she is this well-known author who wrote, I think, a fantasy series, and the last book is missing, but she is rumored to have written it, and it's just they need to find the manuscript. So they're trying to do that. They're exploring the past, they're exploring the present, the future, all that kind of stuff. And what they find is more of like a memoir of her life that is actually their life. And so they're kind of rekindling their romance, sort of, kind of. This is really good. It does have a sequel, but I think it's a companion sequel. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it follows different characters. I would say you can definitely read this one and feel happy with the conclusion and like it wrapped up in and of itself. Then we have Love Your Kids Without Losing Yourself by Dr. Morgan Cutlip. This one was so good. This is exactly what it says. It says, beat burnout. I can't see because of the stickers, but basically the whole point of this book is to mother yourself like you mother your kids. And just remember that you matter too, and to take care of yourself as well. And just different connection points and ways to check in with both your kids and yourself to see, okay, when I am behaving in a way that I don't feel proud of as a parent, which of my needs are not being met? And when my kids are behaving in a way that I don't want them to, which of their needs are not being met? And also just grace, that it is a hard job to be a parent and nobody's going to get it perfect. I felt so seen as a millennial mother reading this. I would highly recommend if you are in this kind of millennial generation raising kids, and it was so good. And then the last one was Matrescence on Pregnancy, Childbirth, and Motherhood. I just talked about this one last week, so I won't talk forever, but this is basically just about the woman's transition into motherhood, her role as a mother, and society's view of that in Western culture. This is written by a UK author, but I felt like it translated very well to the United States as well. It's just our culture really expects us to just jump back up and be back in the game when our bodies, our minds, our everything is permanently changed by becoming a mother. And the reverence for that is really gone. And just how different animals kind of enter into motherhood and how complex it all is. And yet it's expected to be simplified into we're really just a vessel making humans, and just to let it go. But there's also a lot of beauty in the beauty of motherhood is also explored in this, and how great of a job it is. And so just again, how much it should be revered. So that is my September wrap up. That's the stats, how I did in series September, and my favorite books of the month. So what was the best thing that you read in September? I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.